you know what? Hey, we want to do this big deck project, and we want a pergola, and we want the waterfall, and I want a cooking area with the range outside, and it's going to be $125,000. Let's use the equity in our home and get a closed-end second high loan from Improvifi, which is fixed, and there's no prepayment penalty as well. But we're going to use the equity in our house so we can pay the contractor directly for this project that's going to take 2 or 3 months maybe to build.
Hey there, my friend. This is Danny with Contractor Click Podcast. Once again, bringing you value. We have a very special guest today, Mr. Christopher Scoville with Improvifi. Christopher, good morning.
Brother, good morning.
How are you today?
Good morning, everybody. I'm doing great. How are you?
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming over to the Contractor Click Podcast. I am with my beautiful wife and co-host, Maddie here. Maddie, your morning. How's it going?
It's going great. I'm looking forward to this conversation. I'm super excited about talking to Christopher about the topic we're going to talk about, because it's one of those topics that I get on calls with contractors all the time, and they're always asking me this question, and I'm like, I have to defer you to someone else.
What's the question?
The question, it's a question about financing. I need financing. So everything that has to do with financing.
Who offers financing? Do I go to
Do you have a suggestion for
Jobber?
financing? Who should I go to?
So-and-so is offering financing. And I mean, we were just talking about the benefits of going vertical, the hockey stick effect after getting started. But before we even go there, just give us a quick introduction, quick bio into who you are. And
first of all, this is absolutely wonderful. You get to work with your wife.
Yes.
I work with my wife too.
Oh, it's
That's
awesome.
Who's the boss?
I love it.
I love it. I love it. You know what? Confucius says a wise man once said nothing.
Yes.
And I was doing my Bible study this morning, and it was interesting because I like to open it up and then just let God say, okay, here's your lesson today.
I love it.
Which was Proverbs 18.
Wow.
And I'll just sum it up really quickly. It was about having bigger ears and a smaller mouth.
That's good.
Right? I think sometimes, hi Mom, sometimes in our industry, which is incredibly egocentric, and I would say this, male dominant.
Yes.
The construction, the contracting business, the financing business can be somewhat male dominant.
Yes.
That we have to feel as if, from a human perspective, that we have to be the loudest in the room. So I have been practicing for a really long time to just be a better listener and maybe not be the smartest guy in the room. Try to be the biggest learner in the room.
Yes.
That's good.
And I have to remind myself every single day. And because you're good at something, right? You're an expert. I'm an expert at what I do. I'm an expert in relationships and financing. It's what I've done we'll talk about it today, 26 years. But we can always learn from someone else. So we can take that lesson and go. And that's what the Bible study was this morning, was all about, hey, just be humble. Let your ego stay outside. Be a better listener. So anyway.
Amen.
That's awesome.
Man, what was your question?
The question is going. That was a great segue here. You know, I believe we can all learn something from being humble here, because I do believe with this industry, specifically home improvement, we love contractors. My father was in the trades, Maddie's father, so this is what we grew up around. But you always knew more than everyone else. And it's hard work. It's not easy work. And that being said, the conversation of bringing financing into the equation and growing your business, and the world is shifting, the economy is moving, the consumer is moving in a different direction. That, in my personal belief, in what we've been preaching for the past 12 months, is like, if you haven't integrated financing into your business, you're missing out big time. The biggest players are doing it. They've been doing it forever. But how do we get started? Where do we even begin? You know? And where does your story begin in this industry, and how have you been able to help out contractors?
Yeah, we'll rewind, right? I think it's important that, and maybe a lot of your audience, they don't know me, right? I think there's always groups of people that know you in this industry, and we think the industry is this big. It's not, it's massive, right? Yeah. I always feel how big the industry is when I go to a trade show, and I know a lot of people know me from the industry, and I go to a trade show and I'm like, I don't know anybody here. So let's share the story. I'm 53. I'm from Western New York.
You don't look 53.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I got a 32. I got a 32-year-old daughter and a 13-year-old granddaughter.
Wow.
Yeah, man, blessings. So I started hitting the hammer in high school, 1987. My dad was an attorney, and he thought, well, geez, I'll open a construction business too. And he called it Roscoe, which was Scoville, my last name, and Ross, which was the contractor's name combined, so it was Roscoe. So I helped build a custom home in 1987. So I get to tell the story when I'm trying to build some type of a connection with a contractor. Say, hey man, I've been in the industry a long time. They're like, what do you mean a long time, right? Like establish that level of professionalism. Like, dude, I've been doing this a long time. 87, doing custom homes. In 1991-ish, I moved to Florida. I did roofing. I was doing tie beams up in St. Lucie West, where all the baseball, all the PUDs. And then in 1993, I got into financing. Wow. So if you rewind, and people are like, wait a minute, you've been doing financing for 26, 25 plus years? Yeah. So I started doing wholesale construction of permanent lending in my 20s, right here in Boca Raton.
Wow.
I got my start right here in Boca, and my office was down in Aventura, North Miami Beach. Mom, I'm sorry, but I lied my way into the interview, and I got I repent. I'm sorry. But anyway, I just broke the fourth wall to say I was sorry. But anyway, it was really interesting how I got the job. So back in the day, Maddie, I know you're way younger than I am.
Not that much.
Yes,
a
you
little
are.
bit.
Yes, you are. So back in the day, we would get, when we'd look for a job, we'd have to open up the newspaper. And then we would have to fax a resume. We would literally find a job, fax the resume, and then hopefully just sit there and wait. Like, I don't even know if we had cell phone. I don't know. Anyway, we'd wait for the call for the interview. So I get the interview right here in Boca Raton over by the mall, and I basically had to fib my way into the job because it was a really, really good job. It was like associate director, construction and permanent wholesale lending. Like, it was a really good job. So I got the job. I lied my way in. There's another great story. Maybe we'll do it on another podcast. But that's really cut my teeth, man. Working with contractors, started really focused on construction of permanent wholesale lending. And then from there, it went to, oh my goodness, it went to the mortgage side of the business, wholesale and retail. And then it went to secured and unsecured. And then it went to residential PACE, property assessed clean energy. And then it went to commercial property assessed, and it went to unsecured. So I've probably worked for 7 different national banks and moved all over the country at one point in my time. But this is what I've been doing. This is where my passion is working with folks that are like your clients with financing, right? And that's when I'm hyper focused. And I don't do SEO. I don't do marketing. I do financing. I help contractors build financing programs in their business and then scale them to exponential, levels to help their business grow. And there's a lot of stuff that goes along with it. But to really just say what we do is we help contractors build successful finance programs in their business so they can help more homeowners at the point of sale.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we have a range of people that we work with, from people that are starting to people that are much more established. And one of the things that I get asked, or that they really don't, especially the newer guys that don't understand, is how it works. Like, they're almost like scared to even consider an option of financing because they're almost like afraid of, like, well, what if the whatever doesn't pay the finance person and I don't get paid? So I would love for you to touch upon a little bit on how it works.
Absolutely. Great intro. A lot of stuff to cover here. So what I've seen in the many, many years is that there's some entities, and I'll never talk poorly about anyone out there competitor-wise, but there are some entities out there that call themselves home improvement finance companies. So if you're in a concrete business and you go onto the social media and you see no dealer fee, home improvement financing, and then you pay this crazy amount of money to join their program to start offering this financing. And then all of a sudden you see that the interest rates are like 36% on a 5-year term, and your homeowner has a 750 credit score, which is like, this is thievery. What are we doing? So who does it reflect poorly upon? The lender or the contractor?
The contractor.
The contractor, right? So imagine your guy that's in the concrete business, and his average ticket is $25,000 for the work that he does. And his homeowners need affordable payment solutions. And he sees the ad and he enrolls because he's promised all this stuff. And then he goes out there and does his job and offers it. And then the net effect is a homeowner telling him to pack sand, get off my property. You're a shyster. You're a thief. All because that contractor thought he was doing the right thing, thought that offering financing was the right thing. Unfortunately, what happened was this. that contractor got bamboozled thinking that he was offering financing. It was not. What he was doing was offering a personal loan to the consumer through entities that already exist. So that contractor got bamboozled thinking that they were offering home improvement financing when they actually weren't. So there's many different types of financing. I'll break it down for simplicity. Direct to consumer, indirect merchant lending, secured lending. We'll just talk about the three topics. So that's called direct to consumer. Is these entities, they get you to pay the money, and then you as a contractor pay the money, and then they give you this soft credit pull app, and then they send it to multiple personal lenders. Where you as a consumer and you as a contractor can literally go and apply for free. Those are not home improvement loans. Those are personal loans. Personal loans are risky because they don't know what they're going to use the money on. Here's the better side of this. Is called merchant lending or indirect lending, and this is what this is. This is when you as a contractor come to a company like Improvifi, and we match you with the proper lender solution that can help your marketplace, your customers, and you and your business grow. Merchant lending is the lender pays the contractor directly, not the consumer. The contractor is control at the point of sale. The contractor chooses the programs that are offered to the consumer. The interest rates are fair and marketable and equitable and not malicious. And you, the contractor, when you're done with the work, get paid directly to your ACH account, to your bank account.
That's awesome.
So you're not giving the money to the consumer, so the consumer can then go and hire your competitor because they've got your bid.
Right.
Now you've turned your customer into a cash customer, and all cash customers want a discount, or they're going to go find it cheaper. You're controlling the point of sale, soft credit pull, 30-second approval. Congratulations, you're approved. We're going to start the job next week. And when the job is completed as a contractor, the money is sent to your bank account. Now the loans on the indirect and the merchant lending, which is the better lending source, you could have terms from 2 years to 20 years. You could have interest rates from no interest, zero interest, same as cash, like a promotional loan, 12 or 18 months. Or you could have a low monthly payment option up to 20 years, like rates starting at 7%.
That's nice.
So it allows the consumer at the point of sale with the contractor to go, do I want a 10-year, do I want a 15, or do I want a 20?
That's good.
And they go, you know what, we're going to sell the house in a couple years, but we need this improvement because we have maybe a foundation problem or a deck problem or a driveway problem or whatever coating, like whatever the issue is, right? We're going to sell the house, and this is unsecured. So let's go with this option because we can afford it and it fits our budget. And they click it and they own it. And that stops this thing called adverse action. Adverse action is when a contractor pushes a loan down a consumer's throat because he's going to win something extra on the back end. This system will allow the consumer to go, let's see here, a 5-year, 10-year, 15-year, 20-year. Let's go with a 20-year because it's the lowest payment. We're going to sell our house. So that's the big difference. Now, let's go back to your original question. I know I'm long-winded.
No. It's excellent. It's excellent information because all of this kind of information is the information that they need to understand.
They need to hear this.
And they ask.
It's very
like,
good.
hey, what
and
are the different type of loans?
Correct.
So
Because-
thank you for sharing.
right.
Let me go back to this.
Yes.
Their first introduction into home improvement was horrible. They thought that was home improvement financing. Their customers told them to get out of the house. Do you think that contractor ever really wants to offer home improvement financing again?
No, and it's what I hear all the time. Oh, I don't want to offer
it.
this one because this one has a 30% interest rate.
We tried it. It's horrible.
garbage.
We don't want to do
Right.
that. Then they're like this. Why are all these people saying this is awesome?
Right.
Because they don't know, because
they
they were
don't
never
know.
told.
Right.
So part of my job is unpacking the misconceptions of what they see, of what they've done, of what they've experienced. Like, I got to unpack a lot of stuff. When somebody schedules a one-on-one or comes to my 11 o'clock daily call, I got a lot of unpacking to do to educate them on there's better options out there. I'm sorry that you saw the wrong ad and that somebody really bamboozled you into thinking that was financing. So we have to do a lot of unpacking sometimes.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
yeah,
Very good.
Good stuff.
Very good.
So unsecured loans, secure loans. What's the biggest difference? What should contractors know about the differences?
Big difference between unsecured and secured. So first we'll define what unsecured means. An unsecured loan is you want a $10,000 deck out back, and you want to get a loan, but you don't want it to lean on your house. You just want to say, hey, I got an 800 credit score. I've got the money. I really don't want to spend the money. It's $10,000. I want to do a 12-month same as cash. Pay this $10,000, maybe $1,000 a month. Pay this thing off in 12 months, right? Unsecured means it's going to be based on your credit score and your DTI, which is your debt to income, which is your ability to repay. And the lender will base the loan and the rate typically and how much they'll give you on your DTI and your credit score. Unsecured. It means it's not a lien against the house. There's no prepayment penalty. You could literally sell the house and carry that debt with you for years if you want to. Most people will sell a home, take the equity that they get from the sale of the home and pay those loans off and be done with them. Most people that take out a 10-year loan pay them off in like 2 or 3 years. Okay, they're just taking the 10-year loan because it makes the payment smaller. Right. So that's unsecured. Secured would be, you know what? Hey, we want to do this this big deck project, and we want a pergola, and we want the waterfall, and I want a cooking area with the range outside, and it's going to be $125,000. Let's use the equity in our home and get a closed-end second high loan from Improvifi, which is fixed, and there's no prepayment penalty as well. But we're going to use the equity in our house so we can pay the contractor directly for this project that's going to take 2 or 3 months maybe to build, right? That's the difference between unsecured and secured. Now, the cool thing about contractors working with us is because we're not the bank, we can have better conversations with them on what they sell. So when you and I met over there earlier, I was saying, hey, who are your customers, right? And I'm asking you for a reason.
Yes.
Are they design build? Do they need to get the money up front? Do they need progress pay, stage funding, right? As the process goes, they need stage funding. A lot of these guys need stage funding, right? These bigger projects require 20% down up front, and they want a payment here, like we do that. So I need to better understand the contractor's business so I can line you up with the proper lenders. Now, the big difference also of coming to someone like me is I'm not the lender. So I'm going to get you lined up with we've got proprietary lender partners that work with us for very particular reasons. We have about 36,000 contractors in our portfolio, but they work with us because they know we take that added step to understand the contractor's business. So we can put the proper programs in front of them to give to their customers to help them with their close rate, right? Their win rates. So that's the big difference of coming to somebody like me than going directly to a lender, where a lender, we discuss this as well, only has their programs. They only have theirs, and you'll get a rep, and there'll be a great rep, and the rep will teach you how to sell their programs. Whereas with me, you may have a couple lenders that you use with multiple programs, and then you're going to have unsecured and secured, and maybe something over here too, like merchant credit card processing for your smaller tickets on repairs. We're going to line them up with all of them, and I like to call it the tools in the toolbox, right? So financing is a tool, and then financing is built into the product, which is the project that's being built. We teach them how to use the tools and then how to build the pricing into the product that's being sold.
Yeah, so it sounds like you're creating a custom financial plan for each individual contractor, as opposed to having like one generic umbrella that everybody falls into.
Yeah, great analogy. Cool. Yeah, it is. It's much better for the contractor. They get that kind of one-on-one consultation, like, wow, that guy really knows my margins.
Yeah, it's
he knows my average ticket. I'll even ask them who their competitors are to see what they're up against, right? Because if a competitor is offering a 6-month same as cash promotion loan, but I can give him a 12 or an 18-month, and then they start running the ads for him, you know what the ads would look like online. Buy your X now, pay for it in 2026. Very powerful. Now their competitors going, how can they do that for 18 months? We are only doing a promotion for 6 months. So it's important to know who they're selling against as well. I also want to
talk a little bit more about that. It's a competitive advantage.
Oh, yeah.
You know, what are you seeing, or what have you analyzed in the market, those offering financing versus those who are not?
Well, let's break it down to somebody coming to your house right now. A sales guy comes to your house, and let's say it's a $20,000 ticket. And the sales rep comes in and says, hey, it's going to be $20,000 for this thing. How do you want to pay? And you're like looking at him going, you're going, so $20,000 is this big.
Right.
And you're like, I got a good story about this too. Well, I'll come back to it. And you're like, well, I don't have $20,000. He's like, all right, well, give us a call back when you get it. Have a good day. And now Maddie, like, what just happened?
Right.
Okay, then the next guy comes in that's offering financing. Hey, you know, this is great. Here's our 5-star review. We're here to earn your business, blah, blah, blah. They put the red carpet down. They put the booty on. They do all the right thing. They park on the street so they don't leave oil. Like, they do all the right things. And he says, so listen, we've got some options. Would you like to use our money? Or would you like to use yours? And you're going, what do you mean your money?
Mm-hmm.
You like how I lowered my voice right there? What do you mean your money? You could box that up and sell that, by the way.
Yes.
So
we'll use that as
you're
the
immediately
blooper.
as a consumer you're going like this. You're going, what does he mean his money? We want to use his money. OPM, other people's money. So now he presents the options. Would you prefer to have a low monthly payment option or same as cash? And you're going, wait a minute. So I don't have to go and grab $20,000 out of my 401k. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that. You can do this right now. Absolutely. Soft credit pull, 30 seconds. We can find out what you're approved to, and we'll lock this up right now. We'll get your job started next week.
And that's nice.
That's your competitive
Closing
advantage. Is the fact that
percentages go up.
100%.
the goal of financing is this. You want to take the price and reduce it to a payment. And we can equate it to going to buy a truck
Right.
or a car. When we walk in, these trucks are expensive. Like
Or
they're
furniture.
97 furniture, right? Ashley Furniture in City, they don't sell furniture. They sell you on 5 to 6 years of no payments.
100%.
And guess what? The furniture ain't going to last that long
No,
anyway.
of
So
course
you could
not.
actually be paying furniture
We
on top of
literally
furniture.
just went through that.
Yeah, we literally just went to that, but like, we think about it. I'm like, okay, so we're gonna, I mean, you could put up front and buy it, or you could just finance it for like 24 months, pay it off in like 10, and it's great because you don't have to have that huge upfront cost, and you can just kind of keep your, people are worried about like, oh, we got our cash flow. I'm paying off the furniture, 0%, and it's great.
It's the attractive character in advertising and marketing. Financing is the attractive character in your ads. Because when we see Ashley Furniture and we see the offer and the promotion,
TV, radio.
we're not looking at the frame and how well it's built.
Right.
They're never telling us the features and the benefits of the Lazy Boy.
Correct.
They're saying buy now and pay in 2031 or whatever the years are now, right? So I've got a story. I like stories because stories stick and stories sell. So make sure everybody out there, you tell better stories for your customers because they can relate to them.
That's good.
Okay, good. So tell stories all the time. They stick and they sell and they'll remember. People do business with people that they know, they like, they trust, but more importantly, people that they remember. So if you tell memorable stories, they'll remember you to do business with you. So we bought this house years ago, 2020. Yeah, we're probably 4 years in. We couldn't afford it when we bought it, but I scraped up enough money. I emptied out everything to buy the house. We go to the closing. Like, I had nothing. I had so little that I wouldn't even tell my wife how little money we had. So we're on the Intercoastal down here in Deerfield Beach, and we're on the runoff side. We're not on the water side. Like, we're on the Intercoastal, but, it's the runoff side. So we have mosquitoes. So I get this advertisement of SWAT, right? They've got a mosquito killer system. And, man, dude, it was sick. The postcard came right when it was supposed to. When's the best time to market to somebody? Do you know? I'll tell you when they buy a home. Do you know why?
Oh, yeah.
Because
they
that's when
need
they want to start
everything.
fixing
Yeah.
all the things that are wrong with the home.
Yeah, they need everything, right.
So there it came. Big, beautiful postcard, SWAT, mosquito killer. My wife's like, we've got mosquitoes. We have a problem. Let's solve it. Call up Mr. SWAT. Mr. SWAT comes out, does all the right things. Wrap van, parks on the street, on time, flip book presentation in the backyard where the mosquitoes are. He brought us to the pain. He brought the presentation to the pain point. I was like, dude, this guy's smart. We're not doing this inside. He brought us out back where the mosquitoes are. Brilliant. Flip book. We get to the end, and we get to the proposal, and he goes, $8,642. This is in my book. I wrote a book last week that has the story in it.
That's cool.
This is so good because I get to tell a real story for the rest of my life. And I look at the guy go, $8,600 to kill mosquitoes? He's like, yeah, this is an expensive system. And we come out twice a year to fill up these huge vats of, however, the lavender spray and the misters. I'm like, this is crazy. Why am I not in the mosquito killing business? Now I'm starting to have regret. Like, why am I in financing? I should be killing
let's open one up.
Sounds like Isaac right now.
Killing mosquitoes, right? I'm like, man, this is expensive. He goes, yeah, cool. How do you want to pay? And I'm like, I don't. He had no payment. It was cash or check or credit card. I go, hey, brother, man, do you have any financing? And he's like, no, this is great. No, all of our customers pay cash. What do you mean?
We hear that a lot.
Yeah, we do.
Because they're not all.
Our best
do you know why?
No,
pay
yeah.
cash.
Do you know why? They're your best ones because you're not offering financing.
Right.
Your best clients actually are the ones that are taking advantage of financing. Do you know why? Because they have already known how to leverage money to get to where they are in life.
Exactly.
That's right.
The ones that are paying cash are the ones that are just saying yes because you're only offering cash.
Exactly.
So I just was bewildered. I go, so wait a minute. You're the owner of the company. You don't offer a finance solution. I said, because I can't do this. And it wasn't that I just didn't have the means to do it. I was empty, man. My gas tank was empty. I just bought the house. I didn't have the funds to do it. I said no. Now, rewind. Hey, this is $8,600. Can you get the payment down to $39 a month? If he said, yes, we can. We've got a finance solution. You can pay monthly. No prepayment penalty. It's unsecured loan. Boom. I would have said yes. He lost the sale because he didn't offer a finance solution. So, yeah, all of his customers pay cash too. Because you're not offering a finance solution. Like, remember the
That
trees?
is the whole point.
That's the
All
whole
of our
point.
customers pay cash. Of course they do. Do you take credit cards? Sure we do. Then you are offering a form of financing. No, what do you mean? When you take a credit card, you're just forcing the customer to finance in 30 days. Right? So if we buy something on an Amex, I got two choices. I got to pay it off by the end of the month, or I got to pay a high interest rate for a period of term, which is going to compound. On a revolver, which is eventually going to hurt my credit score. That's another thing. Our loans are not revolvers. It's an installment loan and it's simple interest, which will help them build their credit score up as they pay on that thing.
That's awesome.
And it's simple interest.
That's awesome.
So, the SWAT story is something that I tell from the stage all the time.
Thank you for sharing it with us.
It's so impactful. Like, makes sense. People are like, yeah, I don't like mosquitoes either.
Is the book out already? Or
it is.
Yeah,
I launched it yesterday.
What's the name of the book?
Five secrets to home improvement contractors. I don't know.
Let's.
I read it.
Make sure we get.
Yeah, I'll anybody that wants the book, just reach out. We'll send it out.
Reach out. Okay, talk to us about how can we people reach out to you? How can they find you? What's the best way?
I usually like smoke signals. I'm just kidding.
Should we send a bird out there? What do you call it?
A messenger pigeon.
I'm on the Facebook. I'm on the Facebook. It's but I think I'm at the capacity. So I don't think people can friend me anymore.
I don't think you accepted my friend request.
Okay. So you're saying that we're friends.
That's right.
The book is five reasons contractor. Oh,
there we go. Look.
Five reasons contractors should offer financing. What a great title.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. That's good.
So
that is awesome.
Christopher Scoville on the Facebook. Or they can just go to Improvifi.com. There's a little forum there, and we can go from there. That's an easy way to find me. I'm on the LinkedIn. I'm on the Instagram, and
wealth of knowledge. If you're a home improvement contractor, a contractor as a whole, that is your pretty much your niche, who you serve. You don't go medical, no legal. It's just strictly business here. And you're here to help people out. This is how I came across your name. I was in Tommy Mello's group.
Oh,
and
Tom,
people,
great guy.
He was someone was typing out. Who do you recommend for offering financing, etc. And you got tagged like 4 times. I'm like, how come I don't? Yeah.
And then
we haven't connected yet.
And then we end up being neighbors.
I know.
I wasn't in Arizona. I was right down the street.
Wow.
That's cool. Meant to
how can I help your people? How can I be of service to you? How can I serve your clients?
I believe education is the first thing. It's just having more conversations like this and bringing people on board and just having you dissect, hey, what are some of the key pain points that you're experiencing in the industry? Because I believe every industry has its own, its own problems to deal with, or maybe that. For example, innovation happens, borrowing ideas from one industry and bringing it to another.
Yeah,
maybe concrete coatings, contractors, they're not aware of Improvifi. And they're not sure what you can do for them and how this is different than every other platform out there that promises to offer financing and easy payments and all that. So I believe education and the next thing is the empowerment. I'm all about us as leaders. We're at the leading front. It's our duty, obligation, responsibility to shine our light and bring God into the conversation. And sometimes I'm not ashamed.
Which we immediately did today.
It's like, I bring God into the conversation because in these times we need that more than ever. And this just helps us. I love to empower our contractors. In not just one area, financial is one area, but we talk about relationships. Hey, I'd love to have you with your spouse here. Talk about working together. Your personal relationship with God and alignment with God. So financing it, and I'm telling you, if one is off, the other ones are going to suffer.
Yeah.
So if you don't get a grip on the business side of things, so we'll continue elaborating on that. It would be great to have you here on another episode here. Before we wrap it up on this one. Talk to us. We were talking a little bit about this. It's your solutions are customized to every business, and it requires for you to dig in and consult and coach this business and their teams into the integration, which is something interesting that it's probably the first time I heard someone talk about it this way. You're not just giving them a solution that they can leverage, but to integrate into their program and package in a strategic way. Can you speak a little bit about that? How does your program work? How do you work with contractors? How can they leverage you so that they can maximize their business and returns this year?
Yeah, thanks for bringing that back. I know we discussed that prior to this. So this was a big lesson that I learned. So I have a servant heart. I've been a servant and a servant and a servant, and had a great conversation with a gentleman named Clifton Muckenfuss. I know, what a great name.
That is
and
a great name.
And he said, Chris, he said, you can only have a servant's heart for so long before you go broke and you can't serve anybody. And it was an awakening.
That's true.
So I said, well, geez, how do I serve but also get my contractors to commit? So what I see in this problem of us having so much information and so much technology and so many things out there and so many tools to help, it's just so much noise. And let's just say we enrolled over 500 contractors in our platform since January organically.
That's nice.
Very few of them took action. There was a problem. Here's the problem. They all reached out. They were excited and they were jazzed to get enrolled with financing, and they maybe helped the one customer. And I realized over the last few weeks, here was the problem. I wasn't having the contractor fully understand. Ooh, I almost have an accent on that one. You're rubbing off on me. I wasn't having
my brother jokes about that. He's like, dude, you got
great.
the New
I'm
York
actually going to go
accent.
home with a cool accent. My wife's going to be like, where were you? Did you go down to Miami? I was like, yeah, I went to Miami, baby. So we weren't asking the contractors to commit. So we weren't establishing up front the importance of them getting enrolled with financing, because they were just concerned about the one customer that couldn't afford the concrete coating, right? They didn't realize all of our customers could take advantage of this. Our sales reps will do better. Our ads will run better. Our churn will be less. Our 5-star reviews will go up. We didn't have a conversation with them on their commitment involved. And we were just enrolling them. We would do the diagnosis, do the intake, and then we'd get them enrolled, and then we'd hope for the best. But I wasn't asking them to be committed to the process up front. So we've changed that over the last few weeks, and we're actually having them commit.
Yes.
To the program, and we're asking them to buy in. Like, look, just don't get enrolled and don't do anything. If you're gonna get enrolled and say yes and do the compliance and get enrolled in the program, and you've talked to me, and then you've done some time in the office, and then the lender's got you enrolled, and they've got the portal set up, and now you go out there and do it. Like, we've now requested people to be committed to the program because we're committed to help them. So the servant's heart is still there. However, we've added the value of saying, hey, look, we're going to do business together, and this is what you're going to get for it. You're going to get high value. You're going to get a go-to-market strategy. You're going to get the proper lenders to work with in perpetuity to help you grow your business. And I think that the freeness has slowed down, because now we have real people that are coming to the program now that are committed, and they're the ones that are growing their business. And their competitors are now looking at them going, how are they doing so well? So it was interesting, and it was a change, and it was a paradigm shift, especially when you've had a servant's heart your whole life, and all you want to do is help and give and give and give and give. There's only so much energy clicks we can give before the energy's gone. We have to.
My team called me out on that recently. He's like, hey,
we want to help because we want to help
to help people out, but at the same token, we got to pay bills, and if we want to continue growing and expanding, how can we afford to if we're not maximizing for everyone? I want to be able to pay our employees better. Guess what? It actually costs. You want to be able to bring more resources, right? More strategies and all of that.
I have an unfair advantage to you, though.
Of course.
Because when people enroll in financing, I just close them one job, and they've whatever the consultant's fee is, $2,000 or whatever program they decide to go with us, they've already paid for it. So the rest of their jobs that we help them with for financing,
it's for free. They get it for free. They just got to put a deposit.
All they got to do is believe in it and get committed and get enrolled, and their first job will pay for whatever small fees. So
when they pay attention, and
they're bought in,
right?
People, you go to free seminars, and you got a free seminar with you usually probably won't take action. But when you actually have to pay to go to a seminar, you're like, copious notes, take action. That's all we really want. We want them to be committed, and then we want them to take action. And anytime you give somebody something for free and there's no value to it, then you've just given away a waste of your time. So anyway,
awesome.
That's what
you've done an incredible job on your social media. What's your strategy for contractors to leverage social media? Because you're explosive. I love your content.
I appreciate it, bro.
Tell us a little bit.
It's super easy. I'm authentic. I love to share stories, and then I love to educate. And I also like to be funny, and I also like to be serious, and I also like I just to mix the bag up. But I think that if I have a story to tell, and I can do it in like 3 or 4 minutes, and then I can share it across the different platforms, someone's going to hear the story and it's going to apply to their life, right? Like yesterday, I just would walk outside and do the camera thing and be like, and hey, I was just on the phone with this. Like, I got a call a half an hour later from the guy going, Chris, I had no idea that you offered secured lending up to $400,000 at the point of sale with a soft credit pull and approval in 5 minutes with no appraisal. That was a mouthful.
No, it's good though.
But like, he had no idea. But how does he know? Well, he listened to my video, and I was just talking about the contractor story that I helped them out with. He listened to it. Now he's going to get help. They just have to hear the stories. And I think the more authentic we are,
right?
Like, you don't have to have the fake energy. You don't have to be the loudest guy in the room. Just be real and help people. Like, and that's really snowballed. Just getting out there and being as real as possible and helping people and just telling stories. Like, I posted a picture of my dog drinking out of the toilet today with a towel wrapped around her back, and it said, caption this. You know, like, mix it up. Be interesting, right? We can't just talk about financing.
Correct.
Right? I could, and I probably do. Sorry for those who follow me. But, like, you can make financing interesting because there's some really cool stories to tell out there, you know, on what I hear all day long, man.
Awesome. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. What question should more people ask you?
I would say just, you know, when it comes down, if somebody gets on the phone with me, I think the big thing is like, what are the steps? You know, is it easy? Is it hard? Like, ask me the steps that are involved. And I think to that point, I think a lot of contractors just think, oh, my sales guys need to know financing. And this is where a lot of them are blinded. No, they don't. Who else needs to know about financing in a business?
They do.
All of them.
Yeah.
Even Becky.
Yeah.
The one that answers the phone. Let me tell you a story. So a contractor is looking for cement coating, and they find the Google ad, right, that they paid big money on, or SEO, or they've done whatever they've had to do that you help them get found. And then they call Becky, and they call the Contractor Coatings, how can I help you? And Becky's like, hey, yeah, we can help you. Like, okay, cool. That was an interesting way. And maybe the consumer's like, hey, listen, we've got a big project, but we need some affordable payment solutions in order to do this big project. Can you guys help us out with that? What if Becky has no idea that Contractor Coatings USA, I don't even know, hopefully that's not a name of a company. Should be, though. Offer a finance solution to help this person. And Becky's like, no, I don't think so. And they go, great, cool, have a good day. Boop. And then they go to Google, and they go to the next one, Arizona contractor, like whoever the next one is, and they call them, and like, hey, we've got a pretty decent sized project here. Do you guys offer a finance solution? And Amy goes, we absolutely do. We've got promotional financing to 18 months, and we've got long-term low monthly payment options. And when Tom comes to your house at 3 o'clock tomorrow, he'll discuss that with you. It's real easy to apply for financing here. When's a good time for Tom to come out? 3 or 3:30?
Boom.
Becky versus Amy.
Right.
Both of them offer financing. However, the owner neglected to tell Becky that they have a finance solution now. I mean, I'm talking about the most simplistic thing. Bring everybody into the meeting when you have financing to tell them at the most basic level what they need to say to consumers to help them at the point of need and the point of sale. Now Becky and Amy both are, you know, we could have stopped them from, I call it Googleating. We could have stopped them from Googleating. They didn't have to go more Googling. Yeah. They stopped. Yeah. So anyway, I think that
was good.
That's a big thing that they just miss is the most simplistic thing is to make sure that the whole team is rowing at the same time in the same darn direction, not just the sales guys. It isn't about the sales guys. It's about the entire organization always selling and knowing and being educated.
Yes. So if you're a concrete coating or home improvement contractor and you're looking to increase your sales, integrate financing into your business, and grow and explode this in this next 12, 36 months, make sure you connect with Improvifi.com and Mr. Christopher Scoville. Find him on social media. Go to the website, fill out your information if you found this helpful, and mention that you found him on the Contractor Click podcast. He's going to take care of you. He's going to answer any questions that you may have. Connect with him, a wealth of knowledge, resource, and training as well. So that being said, thank you for tuning in to another Contractor Click podcast. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and share on your socials. Take care.